Here we go. Let's pull it up. We're going to go right through, beginning with the women's divisions and going all the way up to the men's heavyweight division. So first, women's strawweight division, right? This is a division that's very interesting right now because the title switched hands last year. Um, Zhang Wei Li, actually, I don't know if she had the belt at the beginning of the year or not. I can't remember now. It was close. But Zhang Wei Li is the dominant champ right now. If she can get a win in her next fight, she may move up to flyweight. So you have to consider all those things. But I'm here to tell you that Zhang Wei Li is not going to win her next fight. That is because she's facing off against Tatiana Suarez, who's undefeated, who's a rising challenger, and to me is very likely to win that fight. And if she has to defend the belt, she will successfully defend it. So our first champion at the end of 2025 is Tatiana Suarez. I mean, she has unbelievable ability on all levels, including uh, striking power, the ability to take down her opponents and control them, and will present a real challenge to Zhang Wei Li. Now, this prediction will come either true or false very early in the years. These two are set to face off uh, in just a few weeks, so we're going to see. And whoever does win, they're going to probably have to defend the belt once this year. So it could be a name that we're not expecting. Now, in terms of the odds, what is Vegas saying about who's going to end the year as champion? Well, Zhang Wei Li is the favorite. Tatiana Suarez is second. And it's almost a toss-up there. Then you got Jan Gionin, Verna Jandiroba, Jessica Andrade. It falls off quickly. So, you know, the betting favorites are Zhang Wei Li and Tatiana Suarez. One of them will likely be the champ at the end of the year. Now, women's flyweight division is very interesting too because to me, Shevchenko is getting older. She's slowing down, but she did come back and, you know, finish off Alexa Grasso in terms of title contention, at least for now. So who is going to rise to face Shevchenko? Well, that's going to come largely from the Zhang Wei Li fight. If Zhang Wei Li wins, you might get her moving up, and this could really throw everything for a loop in these two divisions. Because if Zhang Wei Li beats Tatiana Suarez and comes up to beat Shevchenko, maybe she wins both belts. But I'm here to tell you, I believe Valentina Shevchenko, the current champ, will finish the year in 2025 as the champ. Just because even though she's slowing down, I don't see any solid competitors. I think Zhang Wei Li falls. Manon Fiorot will get the opportunity, but I don't think she can get the job done. Shevchenko will likely lose the belt in 2026 pretty early. She may only have to defend it once this year, and I think she does so successfully. Now, as you move forward into the women's bantamweight division, this is where things get very interesting because Kayla Harrison is on the rise. If she wins the belt, Amanda Nunes is talking about coming back. You can get a middle to end of year fight between those two. Very possible. And who would win that? Well, as good as Amanda Nunes is and as fresh as she will be, I think Kayla Harrison is the hands down favorite to finish the year as the women's champion. And as I look at the odds, she's a 3-1 favorite to do so. So that makes sense. Nunes 5-1 underdog, and that's largely because no one really knows if she's coming back. So you have to factor that in. Even though she's retired, she's still third on the list to become champion. Probably would be first or second if everyone knew she was coming back. So that's how the women's divisions look. Suarez, Shevchenko, Kayla Harrison. Now moving up into the men's divisions, the flyweight division, first and foremost, has been dominated by Alexander Pantoja. But will he finish the year as champion? Yes, I do believe he will. Alexander Pantoja will win uh, any fights that he faces this year. He will defend the belt, right? I mean, that's why they brought in Kai Asakura. There's just no one to really challenge him right now. Could Davis and Figueiredo return to the flyweight division? Unlikely, but he did lose against Piotr Jan, which stifled his opportunity to get to a bantamweight title fight. So Alexander Pantoja will win the belt. As you move up into the bantamweight division, You got a lot of factors here with Merab and Umar facing off early, and then you got to figure that Sean O'Malley will get the opportunity at some point this year.
I love the Sugar Show. I love the Sugar Show.
Yeah, we still believe in Sean O'Malley. If he can get back to a title fight, can get the job done. But that's a big question mark, right? Will he get the opportunity? If he does, he will finish the year as champ, and I think that's what happens. I think Umar beats Merab. Sean gets an opportunity against Umar. He's going to beat Umar. And then in 2026, you're going to see Merab and Sean O'Malley in the rematch. And this title could switch hands a lot because the division is so competitive. So that's how we see that division going. Now, in the featherweight division, that's very easy. Ilia Topuria is a dominant champ right now. I think at some point in time, well, he's going to defend the belt once or twice this year again. Nearly the fighter of the year last year, probably behind Dricus du Plessis and Alex Pereira. Ilia Topuria should defend the belt successfully, and then you're going to get talks of him moving up to the lightweight division, especially if Islam beats Arman Sarukian. Ilia Topuria is that good. Don't know if he'll win the lightweight belt because Islam is so good himself. But there's a lot of things that could happen here. It all comes down to the Islam Makhachev Arman Sarukian fight, because if Arman wins, Islam is definitely getting a rematch, 100%. So we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. And this is why predictions are so tough, because you got guys moving up or down, or things you don't anticipate happening could happen. But without looking, I'm sure Ilia Topuria is a huge favorite to end the year as featherweight champ. Now, moving up in the bigger divisions, beginning with the lightweight division. This is going to be an interesting one, to say the least, right? Because Islam and Arman are getting ready to fight. And even if Islam fell in this one, he gets a rematch. So really, Islam's got to win 1 out of 2 fights to keep the belt if he loses the first one. If he wins the first one, he may have to face Ilia Topuria, and that's where things get interesting. And that's really what I think is going to happen. But still, I take Islam Makhachev to finish the year as lightweight champion. You know, barring that he doesn't retire or anything like that, there's a lot of X factors in there. So we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. Welterweight division. This division is ruled right now by Bilal Muhammad, who seems, since he's been with Khabib, seems unstoppable. I mean, he ran right through everyone that he's faced, especially Leon Edwards for the belt, dominated him with control time. But you got a rising Shavkat Rakhmonov who beat Ian Machado Gary in the battle of the undefeateds, 33-0 combined. He won that fight not easily, but handily, right? 3 rounds to 2. And I think if he gets an opportunity against Bilal, which he will this year, Shavkat Rakhmonov will win the belt. So that's one of the guys I think will be a new UFC champion in 2025.
And new.
Yes, and new Shavkat Rakhmonov. But that's going to be a heck of a fight. Now, things get really interesting at the top. I mean, they get really interesting because you got currently at middleweight champ, you got Dricus du Plessis, right? I believe he beat Sean Strickland. But then what happens? Is he going to fight Hamza, which he said he wants to fight? Will UFC even give Hamza a title fight this year? Because on everybody's list, they got Hamza at middleweight champ. But I'm here to tell you, I don't think Hamza ends the year as the middleweight champion. What I think happens is Dricus du Plessis still retains the belt at the end of 2025. Now, I know what you're thinking. Chris Cross, you said forever, Hamza is going to be the champ. He's going to be the champ. But there's a lot of X factors here. And it comes down again to opportunity, right? Will Hamza get the opportunity?
Give this guy a title fight.
I do believe this is the year. We've been waiting since 2019, right? And then 2020, where he was dominant and then started to run into problems. Missed a year here, came back, fought a few fights, won them, missed another year and a half. Can't get into the country, has to fight out of the country. You know, when Trump gets in there, who knows? But what I think is going to happen, and this is all speculation right now, but I'm starting to believe in it. I believe that Khamzat Chimaev will end 2025 as the light heavyweight champion. You heard it right. Everybody is saying in their predictions, Hamzat Chimaev middleweight champ, and it could happen. Dricus could win. Hamzat could get the next fight. That could still all happen this year because Dricus and Sean Strickland are fighting in February, so you got to figure that there's going to be another middleweight fight this year. That's the trend. But I think Hamzat gets the opportunity against Alex Pereira because the UFC does not want to schedule Ankalaev for that title fight, and Alex Pereira does not want to fight him for the title. This would be a huge move by the UFC, but the fact is Hamzat has deserved it, right? It's not like Ankalaev who's just, beating people by decisions. Hamzat Chimaev is devastating opponents. And if he wants to fight for the light heavyweight title, I say give it to him. If Alex Pereira wants it, I say give it to him. It will be great if they can make it happen at UFC 312 in Australia. It's only 2 months away. Because if that happens, Hamzat wins a light heavyweight belt, and then Dricus probably wins that night too, and then you might have Hamzat calling out Dricus du Plessis to try to win 2 belts by the end of 2025, which is a possibility, but it's a long shot. Also, will the UFC really put Hamzat and Pereira on the undercard? Not undercard, but co-main event? I don't think so. I don't think you can put Alex Pereira as a co-main event. So who knows what's happening here? Once February, if there's not a fight announced with Hamzat and Pereira, then Hamzat will probably fight for the middleweight. But I still believe that Hamzat is going to get the call to fight for the light heavyweight title, even though he hasn't been in that division at all. I mean, listen, Kai Asakura got to come over to the UFC in one fight and got a shot. So anything is possible here. But that's what I believe is going to happen. Then you move up the heavyweight division. Bum, ba-da-da, right? What's going to happen here? Because we all know that there's basically going to be one fight this year for the heavyweight title. And that's going to be Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall. And that's not going to come till March, April, May, right? It's going to maybe June, July, maybe December. Who knows? But Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall are fighting this year. Tom Aspinall is the favorite. But listen, man, I'm not going against Jon Jones. Get out of here. Jon Jones will retain the belt, in my opinion, and will finish off 2025 as the heavyweight champ unless he decides to retire after that fight and makes the belt vacant. That's the only way I think my prediction doesn't come true. But I still look at Jon Jones as the best fighter or one of the best fighters on the planet. Still got to put Hamzat at 1 if you haven't seen the dude list, right? Hamzat 1, Jon Jones 2. These guys are very close. Jon Jones, one of my favorite fighters. Obviously, Hamzat, my favorite fighter. And I think both of these guys are destined to finish 2025 as champions, unless, again, Jon Jones retires. But I do believe Jon Jones beats Tom Aspinall for the belt. And quite frankly, if Jon Jones retires, it's going to be much like the rest of his career. He's not going to tell you that night, right? He might linger on for a year as a champ before he then tells you he's going to vacate the belt. I could be wrong. But when Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall fight, and yes, I'm on record as saying Jon Jones is ducking Aspinall. But when the fight finally gets here, Jon Jones will have ducked long enough to where he already is a true heavyweight, but the more time you give him, the more accustomed he becomes with the heavyweight division, the more weight room training he gets, the more practice he gets, the more comfortable he is in his own skin. And you say, what are you talking about? It's Jon Jones. Yeah, but when you move up to heavyweight, yeah, he's beating guys, but Tom Aspinall is going to be the best fighter he's ever faced. Whether it be light heavyweight or heavyweight. Yeah, I said it. In the light heavyweight division, Jon Jones just got bored. He just got bored. That's why you've seen fighters that he barely beat by split decision or very close decisions end up not doing anything after they fought Jon Jones because he was just bored. He probably could have dominated those guys if he was serious. Jon Jones is rejuvenated now, and he's ready to successfully defend the belt against one of the best heavyweights on the planet in Tom Aspinall. So listen, that's the way I see this thing going this year. We wanted to get on real quick today and get our predictions in right before the new year. I want to wish everybody a happy new year. Big year for us in 2025. We're going to be here giving you all the fight predictions week by week. As you've already seen, we've been pumping them out this year. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. to get access to future videos, right? When you're a subscriber, you get notifications on what videos are uploaded and things of that nature. Well, we're going to be pumping out fight predictions day by day. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. And until next time, this your boy Chris Cross. Have a great day and God bless. Peace.